Hello, back again. Bit of a break. My computer gave up the ghost and I had to get another one, and here I am. New computer, hopefully things are settled down now. My name's Sue, welcome to Indigosprites craft channel. At the moment it's all about knitting, crochet and stitching. I'm still undecided as to whether or not to keep it as a multi-craft podcast, or I am leaning towards doing cross stitch, or even separating them, maybe knitting and crochet and cross stitch, or stitching by itself. Yeah, if you have an opinion, let me know. Now, on with today's podcast. It's April the 25th, just after Easter in the UK. I had a lovely Easter. My son came down to visit and the weather was absolutely glorious in Eastbourne. And we were busy. We were installing the computer, but there were some nice moments here in Eastbourne, which is on the south coast in the UK. Whenever there's a holiday, bank holiday, anything like that, we get a lovely market that sets up on the seafront, and a few of the stalls are from France as well. And I walked along there with my daughter. We got some chips and sat down and had a little rest while we ate some chips and looked at the stalls, strolled along the line of stalls, and even bought a couple of little bits while we were there, so that was lovely as well. And today it's not so glorious. The sky is a little bit blue, but there's quite a breeze blowing and there's a few clouds out there. But hey, it's Eastbourne. I love Eastbourne. So, on to my finished makes, and this is one of them. Now with me, the way I work, I tell you all about it as much as I can, but then I put the details in the descriptions box, which is underneath this corner of the video. It's a drop down arrow, and in the descriptions I put all the details of everything that I have shown you today. And this pattern, which is for a lovely cowl in a lovely super chunky yarn, and the pattern is by Kathryn Senior of Crafternoon Treats. It's a fairly recent one of hers that she's bought out, and very quick make. I made the whole set, the cowl and the wrist warmers, a couple of Saturdays ago, which I was really pleased about. The wrist warmers are slightly snug, but I hope they're going to stretch a bit with wear. And I know it's a winter project, but it was such a fun, quick thing to do that I really enjoyed it. And the pattern can be found on Kathryn's Ravelry page, which is Crafternoon Treats, and I found it very, very straightforward to follow. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and would definitely make it again. And there's not many patterns I say that about. The yarn, I think, is slightly different to what Kathryn used, but not that much different. And I used a size 7mm crochet hook, and the yarn is Women's Institute, I think it's super bulky. Excuse that, I don't know why, but my my computer suddenly timed itself out. Perhaps all is not as settled as I thought. But anyway, I'll see if I can edit that bit out. And yes, on Kathryn's Ravelry page, Crafternoon Treats, Women's Institute, I think it's super bulky yarn in neon coral, grey and mustard. These three colours are. And I will get you the information and put it in descriptions below, as I said. But that was a fun make and I thoroughly enjoyed it. My second finished object are these socks. Now, don't ask me why, I just felt like it at the time, so I did. I knitted this one first. It is, just get the ball band out. So I think it's this one. Drops Fabel Uni Colours, which I believe is this one. And the plain mustard is, oh no, so that must be that one. Drops Fabel Print and Drops Fabel Uni Colours. So the Drops Fabel Print, they had a sale on in Wool Warehouse. Excuse me, just have to adjust my microphone. They had a sale on in Wool Warehouse, and this actually worked out at £1.60 a ball. Couldn't pass that offer up. And it is Superwash treated sock wool. Not the best one I've ever worked with, but hey, who can complain? You get a whole pair of socks for £3.20 handmade. And I used 2.5mm DPNs, and the content is 75% wool, 25% polyamide, and that's for both the print and the plain. And each ball is 50 grams each and 205 meters in length, and exactly the same for the plain colour as well. So yes, the colour is was called Guacamole on the Wool Warehouse website, this one, and this might have just been called mustard, I can't remember, but again I'll put the details in the descriptions box below. So that's my Guacamole socks finished. I love making socks anyway. I did the ordinary vanilla socks, slip stitch heel and the round toe. And the round toe, I believe I put the details of that in my last podcast. I think this is podcast number 5, which doesn't bode very well that I'm forgetting already. Yeah, I think I put the details because this round toe is available for free online, and I think I put the details in the descriptions box of my last podcast. So yeah, and I just sat down to do the second sock, and I've never suffered with second sock syndrome before, and decided that I wanted to change things up a bit, so I did. Why not? I'm sure the sock police won't come and wrap my knuckles, but then again, maybe they will. So they're the 2 finished objects I've had since I was last here, so now I shall go on to my current makes. And by the way, I have actually had another pair of socks that I finished, but I forgot to even take a picture of them and gave them to my daughter. I think I've said before that I make them for myself and my daughter. She loves her handmade socks, especially obviously in the winter. And we've had yet again quite a cold winter around here. I'm sure not as cold as some people have had in some parts of the country or the world, especially I understand in America you've had quite a lot of snow, which is still going on today. And I hope you see some signs of spring soon anyway, if you are still getting that snow. But this is another pair of socks, and again it's the same yarn as I have just mentioned for my finished makes, and this one is called Chili Pepper. I decided not to do the plain cuffs, heels and toes on this one because the red was just a little bit too different. For my liking, so I'm just doing them straight from the ball. But all the details other than the colour obviously are the same, and I will put those in the descriptions box below for you. I'm knitting these again on 2.5mm DPNs, my trusted and much worn DPN, sock DPNs. I do have some more, but I just keep using these for some reason. I actually prefer Knit Pro Zings. But I think I just get into a habit of making one pair after another, and I don't actually pick up Knit Pro Zings to knit with, but I probably will eventually one day. And so they're my current works in progress, and these are for my daughter. She likes red, and will certainly have, because I think this is my 6th or 7th pair I've knitted this year, so I certainly love my socks, which are always kept in my favourite project bag from Ellie of Craft House Magic, which is this lovely autumn colour. I love autumn colours. And I really loved this. It's got a lovely green lining. Ellie's details in there. And that's where my sock projects live. Now another work in progress. Haven't got that much in the way of works in progress. Well, yeah, one I can't really mention at the moment, but yeah, my other work in progress is this lovely Mouse Loft cross stitch kit of a Robin on a Post box. I actually only started it last night, and inside you get this lovely red card with a circular aperture, and you get the pattern. There's even some little instructions there. You get all the thread you need and a cross stitch needle, which is a very cute little cross stitch kit, which if my memory serves me right, was a stocking filler my daughter gave me at Christmas. I've never done a Mouse Loft kit before, but I'm really enjoying this, and so far it's nothing but whole cross stitches as well, and some back stitch. And this is my progress so far. Have I got that the right way up? No. This is my progress so far. I think I'll finish that tonight. I could probably have finished it yesterday, but I decided to go to bed, do my yoga and go to bed. And yes, so that's the start of the post box with the snow on the top and the bottom. So I've just got to do the robin, and there's this little pole that the post box sits on, and the holly, and the back stitch. It's done, and then that'll be done. So yes, I do love my cross stitch. I do suffer with a degenerative disc disorder in my neck, and it is a little, well, gets very uncomfortable. In turn, that I believe has caused me to suffer with quite a severe form of tinnitus. and in turn, the more knitting or crochet I do, the worse my neck and the tinnitus gets. So I'm having to step back a bit from that, but I find cross stitching is slightly more comfortable, so I'm doing some of that and concentrating on that a little bit more at the moment. I have another project on the go which, as I said, I can't mention at the moment, but hopefully I will be able to soon. Now, so they're my works in progress. Now incoming stock, should I say. I got this from my son for Mother's Day. They were on my wish list for on Amazon, and he bought both of them for me, which I was absolutely delighted with. And I know I knit socks all the time, but I'm not very adventurous in trying other techniques like cables, lace, colour work. So I thought, and I also wanted to learn the magic loop method, which I know is in this book. So I had both of these on my wish list so I could increase my skills for making socks. And I was, as I said, absolutely delighted. And Christine goes through every tiny possible thing you could imagine to make your first pair of socks. So even if you've never picked up a pair of knitting needles before, or DPNs, or circular knitting needle, I believe that hundreds and hundreds of people have successfully managed to make socks from these in-depth instructions. So the Super Socks is written by Winnick Mum, otherwise who is also known as Christine Perry, but I think everyone calls her Winnick Mum now. And this blue book, which is more Super Socks, Further Sock Techniques with Winnick Mum, again, absolutely brilliant for furthering your skills in making socks. Absolutely loved those books. So I was delighted to get those. And another incoming goodie, I am a fan, as you've probably gathered. Oh, this is going to be crinkly. I'll try and cut it down. I am a fan of, as you probably realise, Kathryn Senior's podcast, Crafternoon Treats, and I love the stuff she makes. Not only is she a prolific crocheter, she also knits socks, but my understanding is she's more new to knitting socks than she is crochet, and she fairly recently started dyeing her own yarn. Now I'm just going to make some crinkle while I get this out the packet. Right, so this is the yarn, and Kathryn has brought out a sock club in her Etsy shop, and you can sign up for, I believe, 1, 2 or 3 months. I'm not 100% certain, but I will put the link down below in case you're interested in looking. I know this particular colourway is sold out now, and we're looking at May's colourway, but I hadn't signed up for the sock club, the 3 months. But one day there was Kathryn did a video on revealing what the colourway was, and there was some of it left in her Etsy shop if we were interested, so I whipped straight over there and snatched it up immediately because I think that this is absolutely beautiful. And I immediately thought, oh, Cadbury's eggs when I saw that, and that's exactly what the colourway is based on. And show you this side as well. You get a 100 gram skein of yarn. It's non-superwash, recommended hand wash with lukewarm water. It's 100 grams, 400 meters in length. And then you get the 10 gram skein to go with it, which is 40 meters, and you get the 20 gram skein, which is 80 meters. The sock set is called Ostara, which is the I believe the pagan name for Easter, and the 20 gram mini is called Vintage Cadbury, and the 10 gram mini is called First Leaves, and it is Cowl. Oh no, what does any NSW? Blank, mine gone blank. Fully traceable, ethically produced, 80% Corriedale and Polworth wool, 20% nylon. And you see these lovely little chocolatey bits, the colourway in there, and the lovely lilac. And I just, I saw it and I had to have it. Loved it, absolutely love it. And Kathryn puts in a couple of little extras. Better that way around maybe. Yeah. So you've got some Cadbury's chocolate eggs there. Have I said Cadbury's cream eggs at any point? If I have, I apologise. It's the Cadbury's mini eggs. A very pretty. Don't know if the camera will pick it up while it's in that. Very pretty stitch marker, and a good old PG Tips tea bag. But yes, I can't wait to see what May's is. I'm one of these people that I love to see what I'm buying. I love the idea of the surprises, but I love to see what I'm buying. I don't know if it's, well, usually I've always had to be, if I'm buying something for myself, reasonably careful with colour, because I have red hair and fair skin. If you've seen any of my earlier podcasts, you'll know that. And actually had my hair cut short since then, but I choose not to go on camera now because you all seem to like it more, which is fine. Absolutely fine. No offence taken. But at least you can see what it is that you tune in to see, which is the crafty detail, which is what counts really. Yeah, but I've always been fairly careful with colour choices because of my own colouring. So I don't know if that's a part of it. I have a reservation about buying a surprise in case the colour doesn't suit me, which doesn't really matter when you're talking socks on your feet. But I think some of these things are just what do you call it, they're just embedded in you really if you've done them enough times, aren't they? So yeah, that was my lovely Easter treat to myself. And that is it for today. I have yes, as I said before, I have yet to make up my mind about whether or not to split these podcasts into stitching and then yarny ones. I shall mull it over a bit longer and hope hope to be a bit more assertive on that subject next time I see you. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.